If the phrase free armor trimming means anything to you, congratulations, you're old. I look forward to cutting willows from the comfort of the nursing home with you. What's up, Swits? I'm Old Salty Sean, aka Dalron Telvani. First off, let me say sorry for missing my upload last week, but I was busy dealing with... But all the same, I've been getting a little burnt out on playing ESO recently. Don't worry, that's a natural part of any MMO lifecycle. Quarter 3 for ESO tends to be a slow period where we're all waiting to close out the year with the final chapter of the year-long adventure. As such, I've been playing a lot of other games during the downtime.
So, I got 2 reds as a discount, and then Sean, empty the bowl!
You didn't want to put them into your dirty shit.
I'm not mixing my payment with your dirty shit. Get out of here.
But one of the games that I've been most excited to get back into was my first MMO, Old School Runescape. Yes, I'm old, you're all Zoomers, let's move on. While I barely ever touch the live servers for RuneScape anymore, there is one time of year where it sucks any and all spare time out of my life. Once a year, RuneScape launches a new League server, a brand new server that only lasts for the duration of the League and has some unique twists to it. Leagues aren't unique to just RuneScape. Path of Exile is probably the most popular game utilizing the League system currently. In RuneScape, players create a brand new Iron Man character from scratch to begin a new league with. Iron Man characters can't trade with any other character on a server, meaning every item that they acquire has to be either from monster drops, world spawns, or created themselves. Player experience rates are absolutely cracked, and the multiplier gets higher and higher as players complete more tasks in a league. On top of this, each league has unique twists to spice things up and set it apart from its previous leagues. Trailblazer League, aka the best league, started players off with only a small portion of the map available to them. After players completed enough tasks, they're given the choice to unlock one of the other map sections, opening up even more options for them. This system worked out really well for both casual and sweaty players alike. Some players picked zones for optimal training locations, while more casual players opted to just pick their favorites and make it work. On top of that, each player was given a choice of permanent buffs to choose from that were locked in for the duration of the league. To avoid having to give a TED talk on how RuneScape works, just take my word for it that these were insanely powerful and something that you would never ever see on live servers. And on top of all of that was a leaderboard system integrated into the game based on how many tasks players could complete of varying difficulty. The task difficulty ranged from easy to master and granted different points based on the difficulty, more on the task system later. At the end of the league, the leaderboards were locked and set in stone forever.
Great job.
Players were given their points total as currency at the end of the league to spend on various cosmetics and furnishings for player houses, as well as a trophy to wield or display in their player homes. Leagues are essentially a speedrun experience of an MMO compressed entirely into a couple of months. The tasks that I mentioned are rewarded for doing literally everything and anything. Cook a shrimp, that's a task complete. Defeat the hardest boss in the game solo, that's a task complete. Commit various crimes, task complete. Wear a fedora? Task complete, milady. Because the tasks are so varied, you can play the way you want to. Hey look, it's the tagline for ESO. Wow! And you'll get rewarded for playing this way. Sweaty leaderboard climbers spent weeks formulating when was the best time to complete Cook's Assistant, a quest that has you bake a cake by yourself, but they treated it as if it was Einstein's equation of general relativity. But a lot of other casual players just like to do their favorite tasks and speedrun the content that they enjoy most and enjoy the dopamine and nostalgia. But the reason that the League system works so well is because of the variety of content RuneScape presents. Players are divided amongst questers, skillers, PvPers, players that just want to do solo endgame raids. Leagues appeals to everybody. Which brings us back to ESO. ESO has been around a long time now, and the world has gotten big. Like, really big. With that growth has come a huge amount of content and playstyles. Yes, the map is enormous, but we've also got public dungeons, raids, hard mode dungeons, battlegrounds, Cyrodiil, player housing, heists, assassination, fashion, crime, raids, card games, fishing, quests, world boss, secrets, antiquities, the list goes on. Take a look through your achievement list sometime and see how much of the game you've actually been missing out on because it's either not optimal or not part of your usual routine. Part of the fun of leagues is trying out content that you would normally never do. Maybe you'll finally have the confidence to try that veteran hard mode raid with some friends if you know that you're going in with an absurdly broken build that could usually never see the light of day on live. Once you've done it a couple times and know the mechanics, maybe you'll try it again on your real character. Maybe the league lets you do some wacky things in PvP, or you just go in to clear out a task and come to find that you like PvP a lot more than you originally thought. Maybe you'll stop being a hater and give Tales of Tribute a shot. The possibilities are endless! I think one of ESO's standout strengths is its very flexible gear system. Leagues is a perfect time for devs to test the water and make really out there ideas. Rather than releasing completely unbalanced mythics on PTS, it gives devs a chance to release them in leagues and see what players do with them. If it's completely broken, that's absolutely fine. It's the point of leagues, and it gets locked away when the season ends, never to see the light of day again. If something is over or under-tuned, it's a plethora of exploitable data to take advantage of for inevitable releases on the PTS in the future. And on the other hand, limitations are part of what make leagues so much fun too. ESO has 10 zillion armor sets, a good amount of which never see any use at all. Limiting players to sets they would likely never ever use and mixing in some new fun ones that are only available during the league could make for some really fun build ideas. I'm mostly saying this because I want an excuse to run Grizzly Gourmet and fling sweet rolls at other players while shouting about how it's actually meta. Also, any excuse to revisit old content is always welcome. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I barely have any recollection of what happens in the base game questing zones because it's been years since I've done them. And every time I think about revisiting them, I get tired of it really quickly. But you combine that with some extra dopamine from checking off the little to-dos for a time-limited league, and baby, you got a stew going. And again, some of that dead content I'm sure some people really enjoy. Take for example Thieves Guild heists. I personally think it's the worst content in the entire game, but somebody out there really loves that shit. And there's currently zero incentive to do those outside of events because the rewards are frankly awful. But if you make heists a viable way for characters to progress through a league, and you're gonna make somebody's day. At the end of it all, having a trophy on your main account to place in your house and look fondly back on the memories with is always a great feeling. Maybe combine that with some cosmetic costumes or maybe even a mount for higher ranked players, and that's icing on the cake. Leagues tend to bring a lot of players together to swap stories about what they've accomplished so far and the builds that they're using. There's a really fun social element to it. I always look forward to my phone blowing up with updates from the couple of friends that I play through leagues with. That's something that I'd really love to see make its way into ESO in some form or another at some point in the future. I know that it's wishful thinking at the end of the day. I'm sure something like this can't be that easily implemented, but I sure love to play the what if card. Anyway, thanks for listening to me ramble about my favorite two MMOs. As always, thank you to the channel members who continue to support me. If you'd like to support me, consider liking and subscribing or becoming a channel member today to access some of these sweet emotes. But until we meet again on the plains of Vardenfell, I've been Old Salty Sean saying smoke skooma and worship Daedra.
Stand up. There you go. You were dreaming.